To improve our languages, it's important to practice. The more we practice, the more we improve. And diaries are an excellent way to create a writing habit and therefore to improve on our writing skills. But I'm going to let you on a little secret. As a child, my mom tried to get me to keep a diary called Nikki in Japanese, as most Japanese children do. There's generally the top half of the page that's for drawing and the bottom half where we write about what happened during the day. But as a child, I never saw the purpose of it. It felt like a chore, so it never really lasted. So today, Ute and I are going to talk to you about different ways to keep a diary and more precisely, how we can make it motivating and enjoyable for our children. So traditionally, a diary is about reflecting on our day, writing about it, but what if our children don't necessarily reflect on what happened during the day or don't like writing? So in the Parents Guide to Raising Multilingual Children, I'm talking about an activity that we can do easily at the dinner table to get the reflection starting before we ask them to write anything. And that's an activity called Rose, Thorn, Bud. So it's about each person at the dinner table talking about the best thing that happened during the day. That's the rose. Another good thing that happened during the day, that's another rose. And then there's the thorn. So that's something that didn't go as well. And then there's the bud, what we're looking forward to. So if you start doing this at the dinner table and your children enjoy it, it will start a reflection about what happened during the day. And later on, they can put that in writing.
We don't need to wait until our children can write to start a diary. When our children are little, they can draw. Drawing is also a way of writing, just by using images. The great thing about diaries is that it allows our children and us to keep a trace of significant moments. And the additional benefit is that we can keep memories of how we felt, what we thought in particular moments. To introduce this benefit, we can also add a few sentences. So one picture at a time, we can motivate our children to look back or forward on their days. Think also about graphic novels or comics. They can draw the before, now, and later. 3 perspectives that are very important skills our children need to have for storytelling.
One thing to keep in mind is that writing demands effort. And if we want to foster writing in our home language, we need to set the scene so that our children are motivated to keep a diary in their home language. My sons are not big writers, so these are a few things my wife and I are doing and have been doing to keep a diary in our home languages. So first thing I have to say is that we are not doing diaries every day. We just keep it for holidays. So when our schedules are a bit more relaxed and when we do things that are a bit out of the ordinary, so that they have things to talk about and they want to talk about these things. And another thing that has been motivating for them is to print out photos and not just ask them to draw things. And you can see these examples of diary we kept during our last holidays in France, where they were talking about the castles we were visiting. And you can see that they don't really draw. They prefer these photos and all stickers that we got in different places we went to stick them, to decorate their pages and to talk about what we've done during the day. And nowadays it's quite easy to find like mini printers or photos to take with us on holidays in our suitcase.
I'm not really a big fan of diaries, not because I don't like writing. I like to write and I like to write a lot, but not necessarily about my day, what I experienced. And I always thought that one needs to be very consistent in writing a diary, which is actually not really the case. So when a while ago one of my daughters bought me this kind of diary, I got motivated to give it a try again. And yes, this was mainly because she bought it for me and because it is a little habit we now have in common, and also because it has prompts. You may have seen these kind of diaries for adults, with daily appreciations and so. And you can find plenty of 5-minute journals or diaries on the market. Just have a look and see if the prompts are what your children would like to write about. Now, the reason why I find these particular diaries helpful are the prompts. They motivate to write also short text, bullet points, or even draw pictures. And you can choose whether you want to fill in all the prompts or only parts of them. In this particular diary, there are 2 pages per day, one for the morning thoughts and one for the evening thoughts. So one gets prompted to use adjectives for the question. For example, today you woke up feeling, and then you can fill in energized, tired, happy. Or also short sentences starting with if for the prompt, this will make today a good day if something particular happens. Or infinitive sentences for today I'm glad that you fill in the prompt. Or questions for the prompt, today my big question is, and you fill in the prompt. So on the morning side, one can practice present, conditional, and future tenses, for example. On the evening thought side, one can use present, but also past tense and past perfect tense, infinitives, etc., as it is about what happened during the day. So the benefits are not only about writing in general, but about exploring different verb forms in the target language. As for the language to use, some may prefer using their home language, others their school language, or another additional languages just for practice purposes. What I find useful for teenagers is that it helps to focus on the positives. Every parent of teenagers or young adults know how quick a good day can turn into a not so good day, and that our teenagers need some encouragement and motivation every now and then. I have prepared a little template for you to download in the description, so you can print it or copy parts of it and start right now. Now, in our toolbox for multilingual families, you can find this activity under number 123, where we also mentioned that it can be in form of a scrapbook, and that diaries or journals can be used whenever we or our children want to keep track of memories or memorable moments during holidays, outings, trips, special occasions, maybe also book reviews, or keep it as a learning journal where our children can keep track on their progress.
It's based on the same observation that I wrote my multilingual diary. We might not know what we want to write about if it's a bit too broad, so having little prompts can help a lot to get the thinking going and know what we want to talk about. So my multilingual diary revolves all around the experience of growing up with more than one language and culture. And there are many prompts to get children think and write. For example, you have this snapshot time activity where children have a title such as "The whole family with me as a baby," and they stick a picture and then they write a few words about it. And you have this other section about myth and facts about multilingualism with different statements that children have to think about whether they are true or not based on their own experience. So they have to explain why they think it's a myth or a fact. So as you can see, there isn't too much to write. It's more about getting children to think about their experience growing up with more than one language and one culture, and that gets them curious and gets them engaged, and then they might want to write. You can see here that they write a bit, but there's some other parts, like here where you have a letter that they have to write for their future selves that will demand them to write a bit more. We have many quick and easy activities for all ages in our books, The Toolbox for Multilingual Families and The Parent's Guide to Raising Multilingual Children. We have left links in the description below. And if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to our channel to get notification every time we publish a new video.
So let's sum it up. Writing is not an easy skill to learn and to foster, but keeping a diary or journal can help get some daily or regular practice. We mentioned that the quantity is not as important as the fun aspect to write down thoughts and experiences as well as expectations. Now, we also mentioned that we can also write short sentences, use bullet points or even images, as we can add all kinds of details in the images, and it surely is easier for our youngest ones. Last but not least, I would like to add that it can be a bonding experience with our children when we make it a habit, if not daily, maybe weekly. We invite you to start with small steps. Ask your children what they have experienced, what they liked, that was fun, that made them feel good, and what are they looking forward to, what they are excited about. And never forget to
have fun with your languages.